Hey folks, welcome back to the Weekly Spark, your regular roundup of what's been happening in the worlds of e-ink, Kindle, iPad and related tech. This week we've got a proper mix. Rumours of a cheaper MacBook, ongoing delays to Apple's much promised AI-powered Siri upgrade, Kindle updates and Oasis sightings, and a new large format e-ink rival that seems to be aiming straight at the Scribe. It's Friday the 13th of February. Grab a cuppa and let's get cracking. There's a growing rumour that Apple could launch a lower cost MacBook within months. There is an iPad angle to this, I'll stick with it. Multiple Apple focused outlets and supply chain analysts are reporting that Apple is developing a more affordable machine aimed at students and light users, people currently buying Chromebooks or entry-level Windows laptops. The most interesting detail with this is the processor. Instead of an M series chip, reports suggest this MacBook could run on the A18 Pro, which is the same chip used in the iPhone 16 Pro. If that turns out to be true, it would be the first Mac powered by an A series iPhone chip rather than Apple's M series silicon. And I think that immediately brings the iPad into the conversation. Because if you're putting an A-series chip in a MacBook, you're operating in similar territory to the base iPad and the iPad mini. Meanwhile, you've got the iPad Air and the Pro that run the M-series chips, and they're significantly more powerful than what's been rumoured here. So performance-wise, this machine would likely sit below the iPad Air and certainly below a Pro. And that's fine though, as these two devices don't seem to be where it's trying to compete. Reports suggest a cost-controlled setup. LCD display, standard refresh rates, 8GB of RAM at the base level, nothing flashy. Pricing speculation has ranged from $600 to somewhere close to $800, and even that might be too much. The real story here really isn't about raw performance, it's positioning. For years, Apple's answer to cheap laptop has effectively been buy an iPad and add a keyboard, or even find a way to make your Mac Mini mobile. But if this MacBook launches at the lower end of those rumoured prices, it could become the simplest and cheapest way into macOS, Mac Mini aside. Proper desktop apps, full file system, no iPad OS compromises. Yeah, they're still there. Still rumour, nothing confirmed, but strategically it would be a meaningful shift. Now, onto something slightly awkward. Apple's much anticipated AI overhaul of Siri appears to be slipping. For a while now, we've been hearing more about a conversational generative AI-powered Siri as part of the wider Apple intelligence push. Bloomberg and other outlets have reported that some of the deeper contextual features, the ones that let Siri understand your messages, emails, calendar, and apps in a more integrated way, are proving harder to ship than expected, the key word being reliability. If Siri is going to sit at the center of the OS and interact with personal data, it can't be slow or confused, and apparently internal testing has highlighted some issues. So rather than one big launch moment, reports now suggest a staggered rollout across multiple software updates, with some of the more advanced chatbot style features potentially arriving later than initially hoped. Now, to be fair, Apple needs to be cautious here, as their reputation for AI features isn't exactly smelling of roses. So much so they've had to call in the cavalry of Google's Gemini. Siri, as it stands today, still struggles with fairly basic tasks. So, is Apple being super responsible, or are they still continuing to lag behind? Probably a bit of both. Either way, a fully upgraded chatbot Siri experience doesn't appear imminent. Now to Kindle. Reports this week suggest the original 2022 Kindle Scribe is set to receive a fresh software update. And that's significant because it shows Amazon is still supporting first generation Scribe hardware quite a few years on. There's not a full confirmed feature list yet, but continued firmware attention matters. It suggests early adopters haven't been forgotten. And secondly, the Kindle Oasis has reappeared in stock in certain regions. And given how often it disappears and people declare it dead, that's worth mentioning. The Oasis remains the only Kindle with physical page turn buttons and that asymmetric aluminium design. For some readers, that's non-negotiable and they refuse to move on, and I understand why. I also miss the buttons. So if you live in the right place and at the right time, the Oasis still lives, for now. And finally, a new 10.3-inch e-ink device has been launched this week that's clearly aimed at the Kindle Scribe market, the PocketBook InkPad One. It's a large format e-reader with stylus support, running PocketBook's Linux-based firmware. It supports a wide range of file formats, including EPUB, PDF, and comic formats out of the box. Pricing is reported at around £270 in the UK and roughly $360 in the US, which is notably well below the Kindle Scribe in any configuration. Now, early impressions suggest it won't match Amazon's software polish, and of course, Kindle still wins if you're deeply embedded in that ecosystem. But this is part of a broader pattern. Large screen e-ink is becoming more competitive. It's no longer about just reading novels, it's about annotation, note-taking, productivity, and distraction-free work. Okay, that's your lot for this week. If you've any other e-ink, Kindle or iPad stories I've missed, please do drop them in the comments, or even better, email me at markfromthespark@gmail.com. If you're watching this on YouTube, the Weekly Spark is a new channel spun off from my main review channel, The Spark, which I'll link in the description. If you found this video useful or interesting, a like would be lovely. Subscribing means you won't miss the next one, and tapping that hype button would be helpful. If you'd like to support me in other ways, you can buy me a digital coffee using the QR code that's been on the screen throughout the entire video, or use the link in the description. Thanks for watching or listening. I'm Mark from the Weekly Spark, and I'll see you in the next one.